Hello to everyone from Team AM. Today, we are going to be in conversation with, okay, I'm not used to taking his full name, but Shreyas Pardiwalla, who is an amazing actor, healer, and artist himself.
Thank you.
So we are going to be in conversation with, as he is famously known by loved ones and close ones, Pardi. So before we start this entire conversation, there is a slightly small, important announcement that needs to be made. So what is it that we are doing? We are, as a part of our efforts to marry arts and mental health, starting our own e-magazine, and we announced the contest earlier. So Vikrant, would you like to go forward with that?
Yes. We've been getting awesome response for our writing contest. The author of the month, Neil De Silva, has just posted recently about it, and we are expecting it will blow up soon. Before we go into me explaining what the contest is all about and the rules of the contest, a little congratulations are in order because Neil De Silva just beat Stephen King of all people on the bestsellers list. His book Ringa Ringa Roses is the best-selling book of the month of May. Yeah, the big kahuna himself beating the big bad wolf of horror. So now let's go back to the announcements. So as part of our effort to raise awareness, we are starting an e-magazine, as Sushreeta has already told us. With that in mind, this is going to be our inaugural writing contest. We're going to have it monthly. This is the first one. So 10 of you people are going to get a chance to be featured as featured writers in our magazine. So the rules are simple. Rule number one, there's going to be a theme. The theme for this month is Tales from Mumbai. So whatever stories you're going to write are going to be revolving around Tales from Mumbai. Wow. There is no limit on what kind of genre. You want to write horror, you can write horror. You want to write romance, you can write romance, as long as it's happening in Mumbai. Okay. Second rule, there's a word limit to this because we cannot willy-nilly write anything. Okay. So the word limit is 500 words or less. And rule number 3 is the language, because so that it has a universal appeal, the language we've chosen is English. Whatever submissions that you have to given to us before 20th of May, if you submit on the 21st, you will not be eligible for selection. And the link to our email is in the description down below. Those 10 winners will not only be featured in our magazine, but also will get a chance to attend a workshop conducted by the best-selling author of the month of May himself, Mr. Neil De Silva, and interact with him. Yeah, that's that. This is an opportunity. Make it your own. Come on. And with that, back to the queen of weirdness herself, Sushreeta Sway.
Thank you so much, Vikrant, for that beautiful word that you used to describe me as a person. I will give it back to you someday. So we are in conversation with Shreyas Pardiwalla, who I lovingly call Pardi. And to give you guys a slight intro about him, I feel he's a person who really doesn't need any kind of introduction because he is that amazing a gem of a person. But okay, let me just tell you a little bit about him. He is an actor. He has worked in movies like Yariya. He is also a theater personality, and he was closely associated with the Jeff Goldberg studio, and he has engaged in some absolutely stunning and mesmerizing performances that, trust me, you will be like, okay, wow, I want to watch this again and again. I mean, his acting has been so profound. There have been certain instances wherein he hasn't said anything, but he has said it all. There have been short stories and short films that he's been a part of, and his acting skills are something that you have to experience for yourself. I can't really describe that. Also, Shreyas and I go back to when we were studying for our masters in clinical psychology together. So him being a healer, he's a psychologist himself. He's a qualified clinical psychologist himself. So it is just so great to have an artist, a healer, an actor, all in one on board with us. Thank you so much, Pardi. Okay, to the viewers, I'm going to be referring to him as Pardi because I have just known to refer to him as Pardi my entire life that I have known him. So thank you so much, Pardi, for coming on board with us for this
Hey,
project. Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Sushreeta. This is such a sweet introduction. I swear no one has introduced me so beautifully. Thank you. This really warms the cockles of my heart. Thank you so much to the entire team of AMP for having me out here. This is an honor, a pleasure, and really love to you guys. You guys are amazing. And the job you are doing, the work you are doing for our society, for people, for our artists, it's amazing. God bless you guys, really.
Thank you so much.
So now that we've got all the introductions and everything, pleasantries out of the way, let's just dive in and start with the most obvious question. So with the lockdown and everything, everyone has that one thing they like to do, to keep them sane.
Sure.
I have my cooking. Sushreeta has her arts and crafts. For lack of a better term, I like to call it our fortress of solitude, to quote Superman itself. So what is your fortress of solitude?
Well, my fortress of solitude. I really love that terminology. It's a very unique terminology, and I'm using it for the first time. Well, you see, as I'm an artist, I unfortunately / fortunately do not have that one particular fortress of solitude. Rather, as an individual, I do not box myself into one particular fortress of solitude. You see, my star sign is that of a Gemini. And we Geminis, we get bored very easily. So we keep needing something or the other which titillates us, which is tantalizing enough to stir and motivate us. And so I don't have one fortress. I have several fortresses of solitude, if I can use that term. Honest to goodness, the one thing the things I really have enjoyed doing and I found complete solitude in during this lockdown period is actually making home videos. And when I say making home videos, let me share a very small anecdote with you people. You see, a couple of years back, when this so-called application TikTok came into play, okay, at that given point in time, I was very, very much against the app. I was very much on Dubsmash and Musical.ly, but when all of those applications became TikTok, I somehow did not vibe with the app at all. I did not have any connect with it, and I found it a complete waste of time. Okay. And I had a lot of PR agents, a lot of managers, a lot of marketing people who used to handle my work on various projects. They would be like, promotion ke liye aapko ye karna padega. To get a following, you should do this. It somehow did not vibe with me at all, because I felt that the content is very superficial. And mind you, I'm an individual who loves slapstick comedy. I love slapstick drama. I love drama which you can put your mind at home and you can just enjoy. I love such stuff. I don't always need or feed on intense cinema. I love comedy, even if it's very silly. But when it becomes superficial in nature and when content becomes cheap in nature, it is something which completely rattles my mind. During this lockdown, I learned that TikTok is not a vice. It is nothing bad. Just because other individuals are performing in a very superficial way and are uploading content which is not socially acceptable, number one, uploading content which is vulgar and cheap, are uploading content which is superficial in nature, it does not mean the application is bad. The app is a video making app, full stop. Okay, like any other video making app or an app where you can upload content, this is one kind of app where you can upload your content. And I realized something while I was like, chalo, let's download this app. Lockdown mein kya karu? I mean, initially I got that house party app, then people were like, oh my god, delete the app, there's a problem with the app, then ye wo, literally Netflix dekh ke kitna dekhu, books pad ke kitna padhu. I mean, though to be very honest with you, I'm a sucker for books. I just keep reading books all the time. But to be very honest with you, I have an issue. When I start watching a web show, I have to complete the entire series. Only then I can breathe and get satisfaction and move on to something else. So I was like, I had to keep stopping myself, and I was really getting bored. And I realized that as an actor, I was stagnating. You see, just as a pianist needs to practice, a singer needs to keep doing riyaz, we as actors also need to continuously sharpen our tool. And our tool is this body, which is put into motion to perform. And if we don't do that, uh, we do get stale, we do get rustic in nature, and we are attention seeking individuals as actors. So if I perform in front of the mirror, if I perform in front of a family which keeps saying shabash, shabash, very good, I will never be able to grow. I will never get honest feedback. And I realized in this lockdown time, everybody is growing, everybody is motivating and pushing themselves. Everyone is doing that. So why should I stagnate? Let me use the help of this application, which has a larger audience. Let me put content I feel is comical, I feel is interesting, I feel is fun, I feel is something which the audience will relate to. And I was like, come on, let me give it a shot. And then when I actually did some research in terms of seeing TikTokers who are very good at it, I realized that not all their content is that bad. A lot of the content is very entertaining. And if you be silly but you are causing 50 other people to smile, then you're not being silly, you're actually doing something very good. And this boils down to the complete definition of entertainment. As an actor, my job is to entertain. As an artist, or as the French say, artiste, my job is to strip down all my trappings, strip down and break down all my guards, and just flow. If I'm going to flow with a rigidity in the mind ki nahi ye galat hai, ye sahi hai, then I'm actually becoming more rustic mentally. And that is when I used TikTok to my advantage and started creating 15 seconds to 60 seconds, 1 minute ka content. Sometimes I would make 2-3 minute ka content, 1 minute ka videos, and merge them together. And I started uploading them in different parts on TikTok, as a whole on Facebook, Instagram. And believe you me when I tell you this, the amount of people messaging me and contacting me saying, we also hated the app, but seeing this, we are enjoying it. I had a friend who used to really get irritated seeing TikTokers when they would sit on his car and on his bike and do all those million poses and all of it. And he had this complete mental block against it. Ever since I came on the app, he also came on the app and he started looking at different people, users of TikTok. And he was like, the content is hilarious. I wake up in the morning and I'm smiling. And Sushreeta, when we were in masters, when we were doing the masters, honest to goodness, after a point, there were times when it became very taxing. When we used to come from, when we came from Thane Mental Hospital, when the practicals would go on and on and on, when we would have, let's say, 9 o'clock lecture and we would end at 6 o'clock in the evening from Chembur, going all the way home, and I staying in town, it was really a roller coaster ride. At that point in time, I used to go on Instagram and I used to follow these comedians, and I would see their videos in the train whilst I would travel. And will you believe me if I tell you, I used to feel very light-hearted. One of them being Gaurav Gira. And back then, you remember the shopkeeper videos we used to go on about that in class. that time Kapil Sharma's show was much more at its peak with the Gutti character
Yes.
and all. So
Yes,
all that
yes, yes.
Sunil Grover characters, and all, they actually reduced my burden, my mental burden. So I
Mhm.
realized in this lockdown period, as a psychologist, as a guide, as a healer, as a helper, as somebody who helps alleviate stress. Okay, humor and good comedy is one such facet which will actually assist the individual, because not all people like to sit down and listen to sermons or listen to lectures, as
Of
they
course.
term it. Some people just like to tune into a video and laugh about it. And believe you me, when I realized the app is not a problem, it is the content you put, which can be a problem, cannot be a problem. I started
Mhm.
making humorous content and I started putting that on the app, and the reviews I've got are amazing. And this has been one of my greatest fortresses of solitude, to be very honest with me. And my solitude is becoming somebody else's company. Will you believe me if I say that? And I think if my solitude is somebody else's company, then I have achieved something as an artist. I have achieved something as a bringer and bearer of light. So this is one of my fortresses of solitude. And other thing is literally, I have an OCD to remain clean and clean everything around me. You see, it's a typical Parsi Baba home, living with my Baba mother. That's the one thing we keep doing. So my house is upside down because I'm cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. And oh my God, I'm so excited to see my house spick and span. It really excites me. So that is one of my other fortress of solitude. I'm binge watching a lot of good content shows. You see,
Mhm.
before the lockdown, when my
Mhm.
friends would say, "Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this?" and I would be like, "No, no, 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 no." And I realized that that's actually incorrect, because as an actor, we learn with observation and personalization.
Right.
जितना हम observe करेंगे उतना हम personalize, internalize करके we can then reproduce that material. But
Right.
my viewing time was not that
Uh-huh.
much, and the amount I would view, the things I would be viewing, were not of a level which I would like to reach. And
Mhm.
ever since the lockdown started, I started catching up on those shows, and oof, I love it. I just love it. And of course, I'm reading,
Nice.
and I think one of my other fortress of solitude, which does not, if you realize, everything I do doesn't comprise of me alone. I always want people around me, whether it's me and the audience or me and actors on a screen. I need people. I'm a people's person, and one of my main thing is actually reconnecting with so many people, just talking to them. Otherwise in the daily hum of life, yeah, what's up? I'll talk to you later. Just the fact that
Uh-huh.
I'm able to give everybody 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm realizing, oh my God, there's so much depth in the other individual. That's because I have time to listen to them. I've developed the art of listening. Will you believe me? So I think this is what the lockdown has done. This is what the lockdown has done, and it's a lovely. I mean, it is very difficult for a lot of people. But what is difficulty? Difficulty is only an attribute which if you make it difficult, that's the level it will reach. If you try and find solace, happiness, peace in these difficult times, believe me, it will become so. And this lockdown, on a very honest note, it has had its ups and downs, but the ups are greater than the downs, for me at least.
All right, great. That's really awesome, buddy. I mean, that was a lovely and elaborate explanation of how your fortress of solitude need not necessarily just be yours. I mean, it could be a source of solitude for someone else as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A little too elaborate. So sorry.
That's perfectly fine, buddy, because
It's
see,
okay. It's
that's how
okay.
an artist.
It's a fortress. It can be any size. It has to be.
I know you. It's not a camera of solitude. Fortress hai, bhai.
Uh,
Exactly. All right. So, Party, my next question to you is, What is mental health according to you?
Oh, okay. It's very, very simple. It's very, 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 very simple. Okay. The thing is, um, what people deem mental health to be, believe me, it is not that. It is just not that. Okay. Mental health is very simple. Your body gets unwell, you need to go to a doctor. The doctor will prescribe some medication. The doctor will prescribe a surgery. You get the operation surgery done. You remove that tumor, or by ingesting that pill, you kill the bacteria or the virus in your body, and you maintain a state of equilibrium and peace and calm and happiness in the body. Now, this entire thing, remove it from here and bring it up out here. Okay, the same act is mental health. Mental health is as the words are mental health, healthy mind. Okay, it's exactly as simple as that. You are having an issue. Stress is a virus. Stress is a tumor. Stress is a bacteria. Depression, anxiety, all such categories are only different boxes and brackets of bacteria, viruses, and tumors. Now, just as if you have a common cold, हम लोग घर में बैठ के home remedy करते हैं. अगर वो हो जाता है, nothing like it. हल्दी दूध, अदरक और शहद पी के, we try to clear the throat, try to get rid of chest congestion. If it works, nothing like it. If it does
Right.
not work, if it becomes bronchitis, your simple chest congestion becomes bronchitis. At that time, you need to go to the chemist or the doctor and get the medication, right? Similarly, when your mental tumor, when your mental stress, when your mental depression, anxiety cannot be cured at home, or rather, your home remedies are not working, just pick yourself up, go to an individual, a counselor, a clinician, a therapist who will guide you, assist you, give you that therapy, give you those guidelines, which are nothing else but small time surgeries, operations, or pills for the mind, which then diminish and release that stress, that the tumor, which is your virus, the tumor, which is your anxiety, the virus, which is your depression, and all these guidelines and therapy given by that counselor, that individual, will thereafter maintain a state of equilibrium in the mind. Once you reach that state of equilibrium, you have a healthy mind. Just as previously, when you went to the doctor, you went to have a healthy body. This is what mental health is. It is healthy mind, and a mind of an equilibrium state, harmonious state, peaceful state, where stress, depression, anxiety, and so many such tumors, viruses, and bacteria are released and removed from the mind.
Thanks so much, Padi, for that explanation, because I think as a professional, as a psychologist, when I have come across a lot of patients, a lot of people who just come forward to just ask me certain things, when I ask them the simple question as, okay, what do you think is mental health? Everybody just starts talking about the illness paradigm, and everybody continues to stay on the illness paradigm. But it is important to understand it's not all about the illness paradigm. It is moving from illness to wellness. So this whole process.
Superb.
Mental health.
Very important for all the viewers. Illness to wellness. Lovely.
Thanks. So it is all about moving from the illness to wellness, which I like to call the illness to wellness paradigm. So mental health, if I were to surmise in a very short phrase, mental health is basically a paradigm moving from mental illness to mental wellness.
Absolutely.
In my case, as in a couple of years ago, I went through some things that were serious issues. Like I had insomnia, and my friends would stay over because they were worried that I might do something to myself. None of them ever, thought of, telling me that maybe you should go see someone. And
Sure.
it took me a great deal of while to come out of it on my own. But like now that I think about it, if I had gone to a therapist or someone to talk to, and gotten the help that I need, it would not have taken that that much of a time. I had to
Yes.
be dragged through the mud, pick myself up, dust myself off, and drag myself to that finish line.
Absolutely. And
It doesn't
sometimes,
have to be that way.
and sometimes it's actually the grace of God or the grace of the universe that you are able to actually remove yourself from this. I call it a quicksand. Mental health issues are nothing but quicksand, because till you don't remove yourself, they will keep absorbing you. Like a cancer, they will kill you, they will eat you up more and more. You are actually very strong and privileged to move out of it. Sometimes individuals who don't seek help, that journey of stress, that journey of pain, which they try to move from mental illness to mental wellness, that journey actually kills them even more. Because it's so painful to do it by oneself when you don't have a guide, a support, or correct guidelines. That journey can be actually very, very tiresome. You very correctly said, Vikrant, that so much of your time goes, so many precious years go, and you miss out on so much. You miss out on so very much. And there is no harm in taking help. See, we are the doctor.
Absolutely.
Psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, therapists, we all are the doctors, nurses, and the ward boys of the mind. That's all. That is all. The problem is, I think the biggest problem with people is this incessant need to indulge in tangible things. अगर हाथ दुख रहा है क्योंकि it's tangible, I will go and get it surgically checked or clinically checked. But because the mind is not tangible, they don't actively go and seek help. So, you must not wait, because the problem is there. Then they wait for the pain of the mental health to manifest in the physical.
Yeah.
Once that happens, when it causes physical destruction, okay, or societal destruction, which one can view physically, again a physical tangible attribute, then only do they go and seek help actively. And by that much time, the damage is done 100-fold. So
True.
you must nip it in the bud. It's like how cancer has stages, mental health has stages. Nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud. And once it's nipped in the bud, you will come out 100 times more strong. If you feel you're strong today, believe you me, you will come out 100 times more strong. It is like this. It is very simple like this. An individual who has never tasted alcohol or doesn't indulge in cigarettes or drugs, okay, says, I don't indulge in it. I have a strong willpower. As compared to an individual who used to indulge in all of it and now doesn't indulge in it at all.
At all.
Whose willpower is strong? You only tell me. Do the math.
Yeah,
Obviously,
the
the
second
one.
person.
Absolutely. So the same example, just cut, copy, paste, and replace it with the mental health, mental illness to mental wellness. The minute you come out, you will be 100 times more strong.
Yeah.
And
So
that's the whole point of the AMP for us is we want to be there at the beginning stages itself, and provide a safe haven for that person to talk about it.
Superb.
Because-
Safe haven. That's so important. People need to understand that this is a sacred space. It's a very sacred space.
Absolutely. And people totally need to forget this entire concept of जो दिखता है वही बिकता है. I am sorry, इतना सारा कुछ है जो नहीं दिखता है. पहले उस पे काम करो, फिर अपने आप आपको जो सक्सेस चाहिए होगी वो आप अपने आप एक्सेस कर पाओगे. पर पहले जो अनदेखा कर रहे हो आप, आपको दिख नहीं रहा है, पर आपको उस चीज से तकलीफ हो रही है, प्लीज 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 उस पे थोड़ा ध्यान दे और अपने लिए कुछ करे.
जो आपने कहा, it's so very, very true, because this what we are saying, the three of us, we are not talking rocket science. Okay, let's give a very small example. If you are the topper of the class and you get 95% on 100, okay, people will go, होशियार है, smart है, genetics mein hai. Oh wow, his parents are intelligent, so is he. The ultimate joke is you have not seen those bloody 24 hours that child has slogged his ass off to get there. Why 24 hours? That 1 year he slogged his ass. You have not seen. The thing is, when you're doing a movie and coming from an actor, you only see how glamorous I look with my costumes and my makeup and my dance moves and my body on screen. You don't see the amount of surgeries, the amount of pain, the amount of pressure, the amount of heartache, heartburn, everything I have had to undergo to look this glamorous on screen. You think I'm born like this or what? You think the child is born with 95% or what? Not possible. Similarly, the amount जो अनदेखा है उस पे थोड़ा ध्यान दो. People will only see the end result, the final result, the tangible thing. They will see the score. They will never see the effort behind the score. Okay, same is out here. Use the same logic out here. जो अनदेखा है, please उस पे ध्यान दो.
It's the same with writing. People are like, "तूने क्या किया? You sat in front of a laptop, you typed, and it happened." It's not that easy. We have to go to a place that doesn't exist.
Absolutely,
and create it.
It can be a dark space. It can be a space which will again suck you. You have no idea. It's absolutely.
Of course, yeah. Okay, so another interesting question that I would like to ask you, Pardi, is that what metaphor would you use to describe mental health or state of the mind?
Wow. I love these questions, yeah. they're so not generic. They're so like, oh my god, sochna padta hai, yaar. Lovely. Okay. What? But I think this is a speciality of AMP. It allows you to think. It allows you to be creative with everything. So, what is your question? If I may reiterate, is what is the metaphor I will use to define mental health?
Describe mental health or the state of the mind.
Oh wow. What is the okay. Very simple and a very beautiful thing, bordering a bit of spirituality, because that is me, if you don't mind.
Of course. Of course.
In the Vedas, it is said that now please don't ask me and quote where it is said in the Vedas, or that is because people nowadays want justification for everything. But in the Vedas, and actually I think Adi Shankaracharya had quoted this or something, Vedas, Puranas, but in our spiritual texts written that the mind can be very dangerous. Okay, the mind is nothing but an intoxicated mad monkey. Mind you, the mind is an intoxicated mad monkey whose tail has been bitten by a scorpion. Okay, that can be the level of demonic madness the mind can drive you to. In the same breath, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna that from all the senses, okay, and now senses are not these 5. He goes on to the different realms of senses as well. From all the senses, from the sixth sense and the senses you can't see, from all the senses, I, Arjuna, am the mind. So this is what I personally believe is the beauty of the so-called mind. It has both its extremes. It has the mad, intoxicated monkey whose tail is bitten by a scorpion, one extreme, and the same where Lord Krishna khud keh rahe hai ki Arjuna, Parth, I am the mind from all the senses. So it is that beautiful. It is that rasila. It is that enigmatic a thing. Now it is up to you. Where do you want to go? You want to go south or you want to go north? Okay.
Right.
that pendulum, where you want to go, that pendulum
Mhm.
is your pendulum of mental health and your state of the mind. This is the metaphor I would like to give.
Wow. I mean, it is only artists that would actually be able to describe such metaphors to concepts as
Thank you.
abstract as the mind and
Thank
mental
you.
health. I mean,
Thank you.
it is artists like him, I mean, artists like Pardy who can actually make you visualize those things that are seemingly intangible. So thank you
Thank you.
so very much, Pardy, for
Thank
this
you.
beautiful and elaborate explanation of
Thank
what
you.
metaphor you would like to use to
And
describe
I'm going to
this.
quote you someday on that.
Oh, you must. Please do. Please do.
All right. So moving forward, I am going to ask you my next question. So this is something slightly on a personal level.
Sure.
But
Are you going to
so
ask us about our teachers?
no, we're not going there.
No,
That
I'm just
is
being,
for
I'm
another
being naughty.
conversation.
I'm being naughty. I'm being naughty. I'm being naughty. Tell me, tell me, tell me.
I know how much you enjoy being naughty.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so the question that I have for you is, what is the most fascinating thing about your mind, according to you?
Personal?
Yes. Your mind.
About the most fascinating thing about my mind. Uh, uh, the most fascinating thing about my mind. I find it is two things, and about me personally. It's about me personally. So individuals say it's a characteristic trait. Individuals say it is your personality, and I'm just like, say what you want. It is my mind because I know it better. My
Right.
mind has this incessant quality of being wowed by anything and everything at a drop of a hat. Okay, my mind has this quality of being wowed, means it can just be like you show me a pack of cards and I'll be like, oh, a pack of cards. And I don't know, I'm not even lying. I will start
He's not lying. That's very
yeah,
true.
I will start appreciating the bloody glossy paper. I'll start appreciating the way the Joker has been painted. Okay, that is why, believe you me, I will never get bored in an art gallery. But having said that, the most fascinating thing about my mind is this incessant quality of being wowed by everything, and in the same bloody breath, I can switch off and get bored of it in no time. I can literally switch off and get bored of it in no time. And it is, I think, at a very young age, I was able to spot this quality. And I must tell you, however humorous it sounds and however silly it sounds to a lot of people, it has actually been one of my biggest strengths when it comes to an actor. Because artists in abhi मैं actor की बात करूंगा. Why actor? Writer भी, because I mean a lot of writers need to switch on and switch off, and when you are doing your work. But I'll talk from an actor's perspective. When I have to take up a role, okay, and let's say in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action, showtime, okay. For those 2 hours on stage, I will be that character, and I will be wowed by that character at every given point in time. Every breath I take in the bloody dialogue will be a wow. And the minute the play ends, I can switch off like this. Now, I might come across as very pompous when I say this, because a lot of actors have a lot of issues when it comes to switching on, switching off, and it actually becomes a psychological issue for a lot of actors, mind you. In fact, you read in Hollywood how so many actors, in fact, why Hollywood? Read about Ranveer Singh when he spoke about the Padmavat Khilji
Right.
character. So, in fact, I think Daniel Day-Lewis, when he played Lincoln, also had said something about it. Meryl Streep has spoken about it. I love
the
Henry
most
Cavill.
famous case would be Heath Ledger in Joker.
Oh my God! Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
of course,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
course.
yeah, 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 yeah. So this is now. Now, to be very honest with you, I'm quoting a Ranveer Singh. I'm quoting a Daniel Day-Lewis, Meryl Streep, Heath Ledger. I don't see myself anywhere at par with the Hollywood or the Bollywood stars. I have a long way to go, and I'm not sounding modest. I'm just being very honest and truthful. So I don't want to identify myself as to the characters they have played, but for whatever I have played, I've been able to be wowed, give my 100% to the role, and the minute it's cut, I can switch off, which I think is a blessing in disguise and a very fantastic factor about my mind.
That is
So,
actually pretty.
you've already mentioned like you can switch on and switch off whenever you want in terms of a character. But like, what is your like prep? What is your preparation like for particular character? How do you prepare yourself for that?
So, you see, um, unlike mathematics, which has find x, so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so, find x. So what you do is you say, let's assume x to be so and so. Then you have your million formulas. Then you reach why x is what x is, and you say, therefore x is so and so. You have this entire mathematical process and formula, step by steps. Exam में तो step marks मिलते थे. In singing, also you have certain ragas which have certain rules in music. So when your instruments also have certain, rules, unless you're playing jazz, where it's believed you can play anything. There's a joke which says jazz music is when you play all the wrong chords. Well, that's not true. But yeah, jazz does allow you the freedom. I feel acting is a lot like jazz. There are no particular rules. Preparation is not a rule book. Preparation is anything and everything. Okay, preparation for an actor is like cooking. Ingredients है, measuring भी है, but फिर भी the best food comes out when the individual makes अंदाजे से. मैंने अंदाजे से लगाया, अंदाजे से इतना नमक डाला, अंदाजे से इतना चीनी डाला, and the food becomes amazing. You can never recreate that same food again. Okay, that is what acting for me is. My preparation does not have a rule book. My preparation is violent in nature. Violent in terms of it just breaks. Oh. I'm so happy that happened. I'm so happy that
Shreyas
happened.
Pardiwalla has just broken his earphone.
I broke. No, I'm so happy that happened because that just shows how much I'm involved in this conversation, and I love it. So, no. Coming back, sorry for the goof up and the boo boo. My faux pas. No, sorry for that. The thing is that so that is my preparation is very violent. It breaks every rule book an actor generally follows. Having said that, there are some rules. There are some rules which I need to be very contained. There are some rules which I cannot allow my mind and myself and me as an actor to wear the skin of that character. I cannot allow myself to be this free, this violent, this crazy in terms of prep. So at that given point in time, as Sushreeta mentioned in the introduction, I did the Jeff Goldberg Studio course for 9 months where I learned method acting. Stanislavski and Lee Strasberg's method acting. So when there are certain guidelines, mind you, not rules, guidelines. When I follow those guidelines, and often I've started following those guidelines because let's be honest with you, when I started acting at a very, very young age, when I was knee high, my first ever theater show was when I was 7 years old. Mind you, professional theater show. I'm 27 today, turning 28. So literally 20 years, actually now 21 years ago, I had performed on stage. So ever since a child, all the roles I got were comical, slapstick, spoof-oriented, cute roles at that given point in time to be curbed, to be boxed and bracketed in terms of a guided preparation, it never served the purpose for me personally. Now that I've matured and I'm starting to get roles of, let's say, recently I shot for something where I'm playing a father to a child.
Okay.
And even though I'm young at heart and I'm like, "Ugh," okay, I realize, oh, okay, I'm 28. I definitely can father a child and I can definitely have a kid who's 3 years old. Okay, then there are moments where love is no more dancing around and running around trees. Love is intense.
Ah.
Romance is intimate. Romance is not मैंने खत लिखा आपने खत लिखा कबूतर जा जा उड़ जा खत लेके जा. It's not that anymore. It becomes intimate, it becomes passionate, it becomes intense. At that given point in time, I need to contain myself, okay? Because sometimes being excessively free can be overbearing and overpowering to your character and to the opposite individual who you're acting with. At that given point in time, the guidelines which method acting gave me were a very good preparation which I were able to follow. And that focuses more upon internalization. As I mentioned, observation को जब हम personalize करके internalize करते हैं, that's one thing which really helped me. Finding the private moment being the intersection between the character and the actor's life. What is that one point where the character and the actor meet and have a similarity? Let's start from there. Let's grow from there. Using tools and triggers as in emotional memory, sense memory, imagination, using all these factors to then develop my character helps me when I have to play an intense role. So that's the preparation I undergo. And a lot, and sorry, so I'm so sorry to cut you.
It's okay.
I work, and I think it's one thing which a lot of actors should do because it works for me well. I indulge and engage in a lot of stimuli, a lot of stimulus in terms of music. Music gets me connected with the emotion very fast. Books, passages, poetry really, really help me. But sometimes if I have like 1 minute before I can go and shoot, I don't have time to read that book or that passage because my lines are going on. So I just tune into music. Sometimes music without lyrics, music with lyrics. It depends what hits the heart more.
Right.
And preparation, when I have a month, then a lot of reading, a lot of viewing. Because ये सब क्या है? It's all observation जिसको मैं personalize फिर कर सकता हूँ. That really helps me. That really helps me as my preparation.
Okay. So like you told us that you are into books as well. You read a lot. So is there any character in the literature that you have read that you go and think, hey, I would love to sink my teeth into this character. Like I would love to play this part if it ever becomes a movie or a TV series or something.
So if my family members hear you saying that, Shreyas, you said you read a lot, they will hit me because they read 100 times more than me. So they feel that my reading is not enough or adequate, mind you. So I pray they don't see this. No, I'm just joking. Oh God, what a love. I love your questions, guys, because your questions are something which actually, I don't know. It's like, aata andar hai, wo aata ko aap, you need the dough. You're needing the dough. So, a character written in a book, which I would love to sink my teeth in. Two. Many. Oh my God, no, many. Oh my God, many. Oh my God,
so let's just stick to two then.
Let me stick to two. Let's stick to two. One is male and okay. Can we stick to three, please?
Sure.
Thank you. Sushreeta knows this is me. This is so party. She'll just tell you this is so party. I haven't changed a bit since class, huh?
You haven't. Absolutely, you haven't.
Okay, so three characters which right now oh my God, I'm getting a fourth. No.
Party
three characters which at the top of my mind I would love to sink my teeth in. The thing is that fortunately, all these books have been made into movies. You see, so but I'm talking purely from me reading the book. Uh, First is a female character. Uh, if ever I had to personalize it and make it a male character, okay, is there is a book called The Hell. In the movie was released, the movie there was Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer, and Octavia Spencer won her first ever Academy Award, the Oscars, for Best Supporting Actress. She played the character of Minnie. तो मैं उस किरदार को कैसे भी करके निभाना चाहूंगा, कैसे भी करके निभाना ही चाहूंगा. It is such a beautifully
I think Emma
meaty.
Stone was also in that movie.
Emma
right?
Stone was also in the movie. Yes. But the character of Minnie, and the way Octavia Spencer delivered it, that is a character which I want. It's such a beautifully fleshed out character, meaty character. It's a larger than life character, which I just larger than life and still so broken. You know, the extremes is amazing. Right, actually, you know, I'll stick to this only. I don't want to even talk about the other two because I'm so right now passionate about this character. I would love to play Minnie. And if we are also talking, then I would love to play Othello from Shakespeare. Yeah, but not Omkara, not at all Omkara.
No,
Okay?
of course.
Othello.
The original Othello.
Yeah, and like, you know, I want to play Othello speaking the Elizabethan tongue. I want the language to be Elizabethan in nature. I want to have the pregnant Shakespearean pauses. I don't want to play any adaptation. I want to play Othello as Othello is, not on stage only, but even on silver screen. That will be a lovely character. And it is done. It is already done. The movie Othello was also made, like as Othello in Hollywood, English. Yeah.
But I would picture that movie sort of like what happened with another Shakespearean tragedy, Romeo and Juliet, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes, where it's based in modern times, but the language is Elizabethan.
But you know, I don't want it to be even based in modern times. I want it to be as periodic as possible, because the thing is that I don't know why. I mean, Shakespeare is one such. Shakespeare is one such text. Shakespeare is one such writer. Shakespeare is one such literature which can be adapted in every time possible. That's the beauty of the individual and his works. But I would like to see how it feels to play back in those days.
Shakespeare like really experimented with the gray area of the human psyche.
His characters were human. His characters were not good and bad. They were human, you know, and that's such a beautiful thing.
In keeping with the literature aspect, since we're talking about literature, as we announced like in the beginning of this, of this interview, that there's a writing contest going on for our e-magazine and everything.
Yes.
So is there anything that you would like to tell our prospective contestants, participants, and what do you expect from when you are reading? What do you expect from the articles that are going to be submitted yourself?
Something I enjoy what writers do is firstly, please get your grammar correct, get your punctuations in place, please. Because only because, on a very honest note, it just makes your work much more rich in nature. Okay, it is the butter to your bread. I'm being very honest with you.
Do not worry, I will be editing.
Oh, super. Okay, one thing I'd really like all the writers to do is be as original as possible. And one tip I'd like to give them, anything you think first, scrap that thought. Don't use it. Because if you have thought it first, believe me, there are 50 others who have thought the same bloody thing. So don't take the easy way out. Brainstorm. Brainstorm. And जितना आप मिट्टी का बन सकते हो बन जाओ, which means is as much as you can bring out the flavor of the soil, bring out the flavor of the soil. Because the thing is, in today's day and age, in today's humdrum of life, we have forgotten to smell the soil. We have forgotten to taste the earth. We have forgotten to understand what it is to be in the moment. So if your writing can bring that out, you have touched a space in an individual's heart. And whether your writing is good or bad, it will remain with the individual for the rest of his life, or for a very long period at least.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In terms of, okay, so let's just, we've talked about, mental health. We've talked about the art itself. Now let's talk about the marriage of these two things, which is the AMP. Okay. What do you what do you expect from the AMP? Like, what is it that you see, the future of AMP should be like? What do you feel it should be like?
The future of AMP, it's very simple. It's exactly what AMP is doing right now. AMP is not, mind you, AMP is not a clinic. AMP is not an office. AMP is not Char Diwar. AMP is a space of expression. Let me add something. It is a free space for expression. Now, whether the expression is your art, whether the expression is your craft, whether the expression is the internal turmoil you are undergoing, okay, AMP is that space where you can freely be what you want to be. So I only feel that the future of AMP should be, or rather will be, it will be a forum. It will be an open forum where nobody will be judged. जितना हम लोग बोलते हैं कि you won't be judged, you won't be judged. There's always some judgment passed. But whenever you marry the art with anything, it becomes a mode of expression. Then whether you have a lady who is painted in the nude, or you have a lady who is painted with all the clothing on her, it becomes art. Then whether you have a man who is painted in the nude, or you have a man who is painted in full clothing. And mind you, when I'm saying nude and clothing, I'm not meaning physical kapde or no kapde. I mean metaphoric. Okay, metaphoric clothes, all these curtains and these shields we keep. Okay, whether you have those layers or you don't have those layers, as your art, as long as it is expressed and it is your mode of expression, it will be accepted without judgment. It will have a story of its own. Whether it's a short story or a long story or a never-ending story, there will always be a start to your expression. And that start to your expression will find its birth with AMP.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Pritya words have not been spoken.
Oh my God. This feels. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay.
But y'all are doing such a lovely and such a good, you know what, fine, good, bad, wo sab chodo. You are doing a very important social cause. You are really tackling. Everyone out here is talking about mental health. Everyone out here is saying, आप aspiring artist हो, चलो follow your dreams. पर कोई space दे ही नहीं रहा है, कोई सुनने को तैयार ही नहीं है. AMP is giving that space. AMP is giving that freedom कि आ जाओ, जो दिखाना है दिखाओ, बिना कोई आपको जज करे. You will be able to blossom out here. So that is what AMP is doing, and it's a very beautiful thing.
Oh my goodness, Pardi. I mean, it just makes all the hard work, all the effort, all the blood, sweat, and tears that we've been putting so far.
All the sleepless nights.
Oh, like, You know what I mean.
I know.
It's
I
beyond my expression.
It's
I
a very rare occurrence when she is at a loss of words. Let this moment just sink in.
So, Vikrant, are we going to ask Shreyas any more questions? Do you have any more questions you'd like to
No,
ask
do
him?
you
Should
have
I?
any more questions? Yes, yes.
I think just one final question. Um, so the whole point and purpose of having the AMP is also to spread mental health awareness. So, as a part of this mental health awareness program or paradigm, what is that one message you would like to give to our viewers which will help break the stigma?
The only message I would like to give y'all is I'm going to give it with an analogy. Okay, I'm going to give it with a very simple analogy. Uh, if there's a pressure cooker, okay, and you have your food in the pressure cooker, and the pressure cooker is on steam, like the gas is on, okay, the chula is on, the food is boiling and cooking and boiling and cooking, and you block the whistle, you don't allow the steam to come out, the only thing that's going to happen is your pressure cooker will explode. Your pressure cooker will explode and create more damage. It will create more harm and it will create a very, very big mess. The human mind is that same pressure cooker. Let the release of steam happen. The beauty about AMP is sometimes the release of steam burns because steam is known to burn. Steam burns are way more worse than water burns, as they say. Uh, so steam will burn you. The beauty is if you channelize that steam, okay, if you allow it to flow in a different direction, it can actually become something which will generate better energy. Okay, when toxins are given out of industries, individuals use that power of the toxins, the energy of the toxins, they recycle it to create electricity. They recycle it to create wind, hydroelectric power. Okay, that's exactly what AMP is going to do. AMP and is that platform where it will channelize that steam. It will channelize those toxins which you need to release, and it will allow those toxins to recycle themselves into other great energy sources. And unless and until you want to have an explosion in your life, then carry on with what you're doing. Otherwise, find and amp or not even amp, any because the thing is that we three of us, at least as I know us, is we are propagators of mental health. Whether we do it or you achieve it by yourself or there is another individual out there, as long as you are able to channelize that steam and get yourself that freedom, that equilibrium of the mind, okay, then nothing like it. But the beauty about AMP is AMP will help you not only release that steam, it will help you channelize that steam into energy which will assist you, help you, guide you, and aid you in the long run by creating something more beautiful. Because those toxins, that steam which you are releasing is you. And I think AMP understands the meaning of you. You, in every way, in your good and in your bad, are beautiful. So why let your bad go? Use your bad, recycle your bad, convert it into good, convert it into something which will assist you and help you and guide you. And that's what exactly AMP can do. So for all the viewers out there, please try and understand letting go of steam is of utmost importance, but channelizing that steam is even more important.
That is so true because like I write better when I'm angry or when I'm hurt, right?
Yeah. People work out better, people act better, to be honest with you, it is said that so many singers, when they're in that complete depressed state, the sorrow in the song is even better, and they create some great albums.
So Shreyas, the analogy that you just gave, it is something that I have always said to my patients, and I like to call it the pressure cooker effect, wherein I keep explaining this analogy to them, and even in a lot of mental health awareness workshops that I conduct, I make sure that I speak of the pressure cooker effect, so that people can actually understand, because this whole idea of, so I normally say कि आप pressure cooker में शायद खिचड़ी पका रहे हो और आपने सीटी लगा दी, सीटी बजे जा रही है, आपका ध्यान नहीं है, आप तो चल दिए निकल गए, बिल्कुल ध्यान नहीं दिया कि हो क्या रहा है वहां पे किस तरीके की खिचड़ी पक रही है, आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, और फिर बाद में धाड़, और आपने देख लिया कि अलग लेवल का नुकसान जो हुआ है, और वो इतना हुआ है कि अभी उसको समेटने में भी उससे कई ज्यादा वक्त लग जाएगा.
Absolutely, sahi. Absolutely.
So that is the analogy that I have actually been using in practice for so many years with my clients and with people in general.
Like minds think alike.
Of course.
So, guys, like we could talk about this like ad nauseum, but I think we should draw to a conclusion, because people will get bored.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So to all our viewers out there, please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the bell icon for further updates. Our social media links are given below in the description. Please join us in this journey as they say, it's a climb, but the view is great.
Absolutely.
At the end. Yeah. So with that, I think we should sign off. Sushreeta, do you want to do the honors?
Yes, of course. I would love to. So guys, here's to some more, and we are Team Amp.